Hi, thanks for being with me once again on the video version of the Norman Goldman Show. You know, I do a radio show 3 hours a day, 5 days a week, and you can find us at normangoldman.com. But I did a show not long ago where I asked people, what is the value of a life? And before I took their phone calls and had a very, very interesting discussion for a whole show on this topic, I offered my thoughts. So let me offer you some thoughts on what is the value of a life. Now, it sounds like a kind of a silly question perhaps, but give me a second here. Obviously, the living of a life has value all by itself, right? Last night I went to a Los Angeles Dodgers baseball game, and I like baseball, and I ate some food, and I watched the Dodgers win, and it was a big crowd, and it was fun. Now, that's part of the value of life, is going to a ball game, if you happen to like baseball. Right? The value of a life is all the good things that you have in that life. Now, of course, we all have to put up with the bad things as well. There's always the deaths, there's all the pain as part of it. But the value of a life can, and really should, in my opinion, be more than just the living of it day by day. Nelson Mandela is very, very close to death. I don't know when you're watching this, but we're recording this when Nelson Mandela is essentially on his deathbed. He's 94 years old, he's lived a long life, and he's made quite a mark. Now, I'm a big fan of Nelson Mandela. I hope you know who he is, and if not, you really need to know who he is. Mahatma Gandhi was a wonderful man who delivered India out of colonial occupation from England. A wonderful man, and he died in 1948, but his legacy lives on. Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. died, of course, by assassination in 1968. We have a national holiday commemorating him. And his lessons, his speeches, his power continues to live long after he passed away from this earth. I'm not suggesting that you and I will be the next Nelson Mandela or Mahatma Gandhi or Martin Luther King. However, we can have an impact on others. The value of a life is not just taking, eating and driving a car and polluting with, smoke coming out of the tailpipe. We could do that, and I'm sorry to say, and I suspect you know what I'm saying, there are many people who view life as just, it's all about me, and I'm going to be greedy and I'm going to take. But let me suggest to you that you should take a moment and consider that the value of a life is more than just you and me consuming stuff. I mean, if you rescue a dog or cat, and we've done other videos in this series about that, you're having a bigger impact as being part of something bigger than yourself. If you volunteer once a month at an animal shelter to walk the dogs, to pet them, let the cats know that somebody cares about them, that's having an impact. That's being part of something larger than yourself. Now, I've never adopted children. I've considered it, but it's just not for me. But there are people who adopt children, and to me, they're heroes, because they're making a huge impact on a life. There are lots of ways that you can be a part of something larger than yourself. People visit senior citizen homes and visit with senior citizens who have nobody who cares about them, nobody who spends any time with them. And they play checkers, or they play chess, or they watch TV with them. It doesn't really need to be a lot, but that's being a part of something larger than yourself. And I suggest to you that when you and I pass away from this earth, the value of our lives in our living of it passes with us, but the legacy that we leave is there for a lot longer. Thanks so much for being with me on the video version of the Norman Goldman Show. I don't want to sound like some monk sitting up in the mountains giving you all this philosophical stuff, but I thought I would spend a moment just asking you to take a quick break and give it some thought. Check me online at normangoldman.com, and we'll see you next time.